Dang! Don't do that! Good morning. If it seems a little dark in here today, it's because over the weekend, like, all my lights burned out. So, that one's out, that one's out, that one's out, that one's out. They're all out. That one's barely working. If you have any good recommendations, let me know because this shop needs good light. I'm tired of squinting to see stuff. And if you hear a little bit of oinking, it's because of this little puppy. Some of you may recognize him. I'm watching Holly and Walter's dog while they're away, and man, he is noisy. The doubler adapter plate that we got from Mike came in. Thank you so much for that. It's gonna make a world of difference for the King Cooper, and now we just need to get it put on. So here's the doubler that I made, and this plate essentially takes the place of this back half. So all of this can go away and gets replaced with this nice, what is that, 5/8? Pretty hefty.
5/8.
So it's looking like we're gonna have to cut this down because it's way too long, and then cut my wonderful plate off. So sad.
It was good work.
So the new shaft is in. Here's the adapter plate. We have to cut this out so that this new piece can get welded in.
Gotta go in there like that.
And while Zach is doing that, I'm working on the steering box chain drive that we're going to be messing with. So we've kind of started with this, and it's not going to clear like that. So we got to go build one that's shaped like a banana instead. And I've already got it drawn up. We just have to get it cut out now. There it is. Boomerang. So this is what we got cut out on the plasma table. Whoa. Got two of them, one for, to capture the gear and chain inside. So we need to get this all pulled apart right here and get it into there. Here's the box all cleaned up with the chain in it and my little gears, sprockets, whatever. So you turn this one and it moves over there. So just as we got our chain dropper box kind of put together, Zach got the doubler plate put together and it's ready to be welded up. And Zach's not super confident with welding aluminum, so I guess I'll be doing it. And we've got good practice with that. All right, we've got it put together enough for this to work in principle. And like, I don't even have it like tightened down yet or the chain tension, but there's not any noticeable play. Like when I move one, the other one moves. There's no hesitation from what I can feel, which is incredible. And I know the chain can stretch, but even with like applying a lot of pressure, I don't really notice anything. So I guess now we just need to get this put in and get a steering wheel hooked up to it. See if it works. See if it'll actually turn the steering box. This is heavy. Gosh, that dog is a lot. So we got it hooked up. It's not at all at the angle I want it to be at, but we're limited with what we have since we don't have the dash built yet. I could only mount the box off of what I had. So I imagine the box will come out a little further and drop down a little lower, and so the U-joints won't be at such an extreme angle. So now that we have that end hooked up, we need a steering wheel. So I need to pull the wheel off of this and get something rigged up. Exciting. Well, that's pretty neat. Should we keep the locking, or should we relocate this key somewhere else?
I feel like you should relocate the key.
Okay.
I think if you leave the locking steering wheel, you'll get upset at it every time. Just to be honest.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay. Need to cut that off. And weld it to a plate that bolts to this. And then this will bolt to that. So we got the adapter welded on. And now, nice, huh? And then there's our quick disconnect steering wheel. I like it. Good enough for me. Time to put the cover back. Okay. Should be enough. Alrighty. So if I move this just a little bit, that shaft down there moves. And that means if it's moving, then the steering box is moving. For a concept, it's alright. We definitely got to finalize a lot of things in here. Probably get that trimmed down, get the box moved out more, get the steering wheel moved out more. I need the steering wheel to be like I think right there. So when we get the dash built, I'll probably end up mounting this right off of it, and so it'll drop it down further and move it closer this way, and it'll get this out of the way of the passenger's foot space. But I just wanted to see if we could make it happen with the tools we have, or if we needed to try to find a different route. So yeah, now we know we can finalize the chain box, and we know we can finalize a lot of the other mounts that are just tacked on and falling apart at the moment. And yeah.
And this is huge. Like, you've been waiting on this for a minute.
Yeah, the whole Mini Cooper build is kind of centered around the steering being done this way. I mean, we could have always just built a big ugly box off the front, but I think this is a lot better. Alright, it is a new day, and yesterday we got steering box put in. I actually threw the dash in just barely, and we need to get the dash bar built. So I'm planning on making it the profile of that, like, dashboard. But we'll see how it goes. I'll be happy if it's close. Zach got the doubler all put together here, and it's looking fantastic. See how much shorter that is? We cut out this much right here. So that used to be right here. Now we need to get it on, and it goes on in one piece. What do we think of that? Is that better? Worse?
I think it'll at least work.
It honestly looks way better. I like it. I'm happy with that. So I'm just looking here at what we're gonna do for our transmission mount. I think we're gonna come off this bracket here, down to a bushing. And then for back here, I wanna do something similar, but it's looking a little interesting. Maybe like 2 bushings here. Just come off the center with one, okay? And the one will come down right there.
Okay, so I got this bracket done. And it'll be tacked up there about like that. And then I can draw up some brackets that'll run from this up to our little rubber isolator deal here that will connect to this right here. I got this bracket cut out and welded together. It goes right up in there. Basically, and Rudy just tacked this rubber isolator in. The rubber's not in it because it's still hot, but other than that, that should be good.
So Zach did an amazing job getting these front seat bars in and mounted. It's been kind of a journey to get there over the last couple days between everything we have going on. But this front bar, this piece here, is removable so that we could pull the transfer cases out. Seats slide on and off fine. They clear the steering box. It looks great. While he was doing that, I was working on getting the gearbox or the chain box mounted and hooked to the steering box. So now it's bolted on and the steering wheel is on. We gotta figure something out with that U-joint because it has like a lot of play in it. And I know why, I just didn't expect it to have that when I ordered it. So we need a new one. So Mini Cooper steering wheel is on, removable, looks great. To mount all that stuff though, we had to get this dash bar put in. So this is the original dash of the Mini Cooper. I wanted to keep it because there's not a lot of the Mini Cooper we're keeping, and that is something that I think looks really good. So we matched the profile of it with Ben's, and we'll have to bolt that down to suck it down to get it sitting right. But I think that looks really good. We can finish the dash out with a nice panel there. Yeah, so on the agenda for today is getting the gas tanks mounted. So we need to throw the seats in and see where the gas tanks like to be. We can also see where the radiators wants to sit as well. And yeah, let's get into it. So on this, there'll be a shroud, comes up, and angles into there. There goes all of our trunk space. Suppose we need to figure out how to get that mounted. Any ideas? So when I bought these two tanks, they came separately, obviously. They had their own little mounting brackets. I had Zach cut out these pieces here to fill it in so that they could be one with each other, you know, together. Anywho, so off of these holes, that's how we're planning on mounting this now one unit of a tank. And I think Zach actually has a bar already in the Mini Cooper to get that in.
Okay, I've got this bar mount in that will build some brackets to connect those tanks to.
It's not mounted, it's just set in.
It's just set there. It's kind of loose, but
Okay. Does it just get centered on it? I'd like to get it rolled in at the angle that the seats are, if at all possible.
so these are the brackets that we're connecting to the fuel tanks. These are gonna be welded onto this pipe right here.
Go ahead and put it on, and I will tack it.
Wow, I'm sure that face was just fantastic.
It was. It was.
Good thing there's no fuel in these. Okay, you can let that go. Dang! Don't do that! It's not done. Those look pretty good there. Yes. They definitely protrude out a lot further than I would have liked, but I mean, what are you gonna do? This is a freaking Mini Cooper. We are doubling its fuel capacity. Literally.
Yeah, we are.
And it's probably gonna get double the mileage too. But anyway, Zach has a football game to go attend. He's watching his little brother play, and they're probably gonna crush it. So we're gonna call it a day, and tomorrow we'll be able to get further on this project. Dude, tomorrow's Saturday. Tomorrow we'll get the radiator located, and maybe, I don't know, that's a big thing. That's like it. We get the radiator in, and then we can finish all the tube work back here, get all these panels built and figured out, get the interior and dash put together. We are not far away from having this thing done. We are actually so far away from having it done, but all things considered, it's done.
How are you on your 6-week timeline?
We're at 6 weeks right now. So on week 2 of this build, I had a whiteboard and I said I wanted this thing built in 6 weeks. Lofty goal, super lofty goal. And I thought I had ordered everything in time to get here for that goal, but we didn't. There's been a lot of back and forths on things that we would do and wouldn't do. Like we spent a week on the doubler and ended up wasting that week. So, still, I think 8 weeks, we can probably get this pretty close to driving in 8 weeks. So 2 more weeks, I think. Like, okay, let me say what's left. So to get this running and driving, obviously we need to figure out brakes, plumb all the brake lines. We need to get springs and shocks under the front, and we need to tear the whole body apart and weld up everything, paint it, throw it all back together, get the shifters hooked up. But then, like,
Wiring.
well, we don't need any of the wiring. This motor's completely mechanical.
That's true.
So, not a lot, actually. But there is a lot, but not a lot. Yeah. Even that's like a super lofty goal. Let's say 10 weeks.